I want to be a hero, Nick.
Yeah, I want to be a hero.
That's our phrase of the day.
Jesus. They even said it with the same way. I forgot to look up who the voice actor was, but I would not be surprised if he was one of the voice actors from My Hero.
Probably, but wait, oh my god, we forgot the most important thing. Hi, my name is Brandon.
Oh, hi, my name is Nick.
This is ABC, episode 67.
Welcome to season 2, or is this season 3?
It's just called season 2.
Okay.
Wait, no. Called season 3.
Season 3.
Season 1 was extended. It was the first JoJo, and then season 2. It was like season 2 part 2.
Okay. I'll
this is
work
season
with
3.
that.
This will be season 3. I still need to create another background, but yeah, that'll be for later. Anyways, yeah. Fire Force, that's a shonen.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dr. Stone isn't a shonen yet.
Yeah. I can
like,
see it becoming one.
That opening gave me shonen vibes because there's like a bunch of characters who we don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but they all look like villains.
Uh-huh.
But like I don't know how they're gonna fight, and I feel like the way they're gonna fight is by like making up chemicals, pouring it on themselves, and just punching each other.
See, okay, yeah, that's what I was going for. There's definitely gonna be some like random fisticuffs that's gonna come into play, because in the middle of the episode, kind of getting into Dr. Stone without really discussing it yet, though.
Yeah.
They introduce like the, super high school Tarzan kid, and you're like, oh, we're gonna come back to this at some point. There is no way this is gonna stay a sci-fi show. That is absolutely gonna devolve into fisticuffs.
Well, no, just because there's fisticuffs doesn't mean it's not sci-fi. It just means there's a little bit extra there.
Rock'em sock'em prehistoric robots.
Is it prehistoric if they're in the future?
That is a good point.
Post-apocalyptic.
All right, we should get started with something though. What are we gonna get started with?
Well, hold on. Vinland Saga, I would also say, is not just a shonen.
I would not call it a shonen at all.
Right? Okay, good. Because that's what I was thinking. That's what I was also thinking. But anyway, there's gonna be fighting.
Yeah.
But not like standard shonen fighting.
Yeah, no. It's definitely not like standard shonen fighting.
But real quick, we should just, start off with something we know. And that's with Demon Slayer.
All right.
Blonde-haired kid continues to be a fucking dickweed.
Kind
of dickweed, but just annoying.
Kind of. I appreciated that he did the whole, I sacrificed my body to protect the box thing.
The box!
The box! What's in the box? Which is a good title card for this show, or for this episode, is the what's in the box thing. Because that was basically the summary of episode 1. Also, the summary of episode 1 can be, let's show you a scene, and then 5 minutes later, let's flash back to it. Because they did it twice, and it really pissed me off. I
don't know why they did that. Like, just show us what was supposed to be the flashback first, and just continue from there on.
Yeah.
Because the first part was literally just Tanjiro running outside the hallway outside, or running from the hallway.
Well, first we have the conclusion of the fight with the drum demon.
Yes, where once again, Tanjiro uses his wits to fight the demon. He feels like the demon is, not all that bad, despite the fact that he had a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're supposed to feel sad for the demon a little bit.
Which is weird, because
they continue to do that.
Yeah, they continue to do this, which is, 1, weird. But 2, they made us, he had a hard life flashback moment, which they repeated, and it annoyed me.
Did they?
Yes, they did it twice, and it pissed me off. So the first time they showed it as this, impact moment, it was the guy was getting insulted for, your works are not that good, and you shouldn't be an author anymore. And it's I can't exactly, I get it, you had a hard life, somebody insulted the work you poured your heart into, but, that's a job, dude. Not everything's gonna work out. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of it.
I don't know if that was his job. That was his dad, right? Telling him, just fucking quit or something?
I assume that was his editor. Or a publisher or something.
I guess that would make sense.
That was my assumption.
My assumption was that was his dad telling him to, quit because he fucking sucks at writing.
Maybe.
Which is what fucking possible. Nuts needed from that one show we watched about him fucking... Huh?
To get told that he sucked as a writer?
Yeah.
Well, he kind of did that when his girlfriend won the prize and he got nothing.
But then he wins the prize after that too, which is stupid.
It was stupid. But anyway, he cracked it. He had a training arc with the guy.
Which I would say that little training part, I actually enjoyed it. That's the only thing I liked from that show.
Where he had to write every day to get better.
A little bit, yeah, because that's how it works. You have to practice every day. You're gonna write a bunch of garbage.
Yeah.
You're gonna write a bunch of garbage. and every once in a while you can write something good.
Yeah.
So at least that part was realistic and interesting because usually we'll just have like the guy be a savant because fucking reasons. Anyways,
Exactly.
just like in Demon Slayer where we watch Tanjiro try his fucking hardest for 3 episodes. It didn't feel like 3 episodes though because it
It
went by
really
pretty fast.
didn't.
But yeah, Tanjiro fights the demon, kills the demon. We get another flashback with the demon, being sad again,
Yeah,
and then he
the
just kind of
exact same scene of the guy being like, "Your works are garbage," and then stepping on them. And I'm like,
okay.
if you showed it to us the first time as like this impact moment of, this is he had such a hard life and became a demon because of this moment. Don't show it to me again 3 minutes later. Like, just show it
That
to me
also,
once.
I didn't really feel that was only like thematically connected because like as a demon he was also treated the same way, but like I don't think that's why he became a demon. But oh wait, but he gets the red eyes after
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Yeah, because he immediately turns into the red eye and like hits the drum, and you see the guy get cut. So it was like, I don't really know if that was what made him become a demon.
I don't think he just become a demon though. Like you have to be made into
Well,
one.
yeah, but he may have like, gone
Or
crazy and tried to kill himself, and then Muzan may have just showed up and been like, "Hey, person who wants to die, become a demon for me."
I guess so.
I have no like, we don't know anything about how the demonization process works, so
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
it is a little confusing. We also don't know why Muzan is just kind of rolling around occasionally, turning people into demons for no good reason.
Well, I think he wants to find the strongest ones and probably just wants to keep people away from him,
hmm
and that he uses the demons like as a buffer.
Okay, also about sort of relating to this dude is or was one of the 12 demon moons.
Yeah.
He did not seem that strong to me.
No.
Like, if this is the quality of demon moon we're going into, this dude was not all that good. I mean, I get that he got removed, and so there may be stronger people who are demon moons now, but his power just was kind of underwhelming, I guess.
I think this has more to do with the fact that like just the power. I guess the power creep as part of shonen shows just kind of feels a little awkward sometimes.
Uh huh.
Um, because like yeah, this is what they did. Like think of Zabuza from Naruto.
hmm
Like our first impression of him was that he was fucking crazy.
Right.
But like we get into like the later shows, and you kind of look back, and he's like not that great comparatively.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So I think that's what's gonna end up happening is like for now we are supposed to believe he's strong,
Uh huh.
but like chances are these new demons are just gonna be stronger, or the author had like different or better ideas for these new antagonists later on,
hmm
or more interesting, or maybe he just made them stronger. I don't know, or her. I don't know who wrote the
I don't know
author.
either.
I don't know who the author is. Um,
Um, but I will also say one last thing about the demon and the author's attempts to like kind of make us feel bad for him. As I was watching it, I was reminded of Bleach because Bleach did sort of a similar thing with the Hollows, where they were real people, and when you killed them with the Zanbakuto, they were cleansed as spirits so that they could go to the Spirit Society. And so, like, they all had implicitly tragic pasts of like they had some regret that was keeping them bound to the earth, and that's why they turned into Hollows. Um, and so they never like the difference between it is it never tried to make you feel bad for the hollow, because instead of being like, oh yeah, these are regular people who understand what they're doing is wrong, but they're doing it anyways, like they've become this monster but are still human the way that the demons are in Demon Slayer. The hollows were just like crazy beasts, and then when you killed them and cleansed them, they turned back into regular humans who are like, yeah, that was fucked up what I did when I was a crazy beast, but they weren't punished for it. um, the only ones who got punished were the ones who were like disgusting criminals who got sent to hell in this metal as fuck scene. Um, and so like it's kind of the reason why I don't really like Demon Slayer's attempt to make us feel bad for the demons, because it just kind of makes the fights feel not disingenuous, but like they don't matter almost. Because like you're trying to make the demons more human, and at the same time, like Tanjiro ended this one being like, "I feel sorry for you, but I'll never forgive you." And it's a very like weird thing. It's like a weird place to put your main character.
it's I can't think of the word, but the emotions are a little cloudy, but not in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, exactly.
They're confused is a better way
Yeah.
to put it.
That's a good way of putting it.
Um, I usually see it as just Tanjiro himself, like, is the one that feels this way. Like, I really don't care about all the demons dying because they're giant pieces of shit.
Yeah, neither do I.
Um, I think later on though, it's gonna end up. I believe that one of the conflicts that are gonna is that's gonna arise is that Tanjiro finally meets a demon that he can't feel good about. Like, he cannot empathize with them anymore or feel bad for them,
Okay.
and he's gonna be conflicted about that. Then that's gonna be Muzan. Like, we've already seen that he gets very mad about it.
Uh-huh.
So that's gonna the show is gonna push him towards that direction,
Okay.
and the main conflict is gonna be whether he like just grows through his hatred either grows or he continues to like try his hardest to like not hate anything
All
or not
right.
hate anything like just outright to
Okay.
give everything at least a second chance.
Makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Uh, that's possibly. I don't know if that's gonna be true, but who
Yeah.
knows?
But then going back to the rest of the episode, the demon dies. We head outside with the box, and we
That
find human Pikachu hunched over the box, being kicked by Boar Kid.
Porkit, yes, and that happens for quite a while. There's like growing tension between them, and that this episode ends right before they're about to fight.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, like the entire latter half is just the tension growing as they're like yelling at each other, and Kid wants Yellow Kid to get rid of to let go of the box because there's a demon inside who wants to fight it.
hmm So this is
Uh,
actually the second flashback that I was talking about because we have Tanjiro come out of of the house and see Boar Kid kicking human
oh,
Pikachu,
right.
and then it cuts back in time so we can see like the origin of how this started as like they yell at each other. Borkid
Yeah.
wants to kill the demon in the box. We learn about human Pikachu's hearing thing, and then we get back to the present and see almost exactly the same scene again. And it was
I told you this is like that it's annoying.
like I didn't believe you, and watching it, I'm like, Brandon was right. I absolutely hate this. Like I don't know why they're showing me literally the same like 20-second scene. It was I was stunned when the whole
Yeah.
scene but like it started, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna do all of it. And it kept going, I'm like, there's no way they're gonna finish it. And then they finished it, and I
They
was like,
finished
oh
it.
my god, these madmen.
Yeah, I feel like that might have been just a cost cutting slash like they just need to pad out like about 20 minutes or 20 seconds or so.
hmm
So they just replay that.
That could be.
But
You might be
it
right.
does, which does it doesn't mean that's okay.
Right.
It's just a reason,
Yeah.
and it
They
does
may
just
have
get
known
on
they
the annoying.
wanted to end on like the Tanjiro flying across the scene and they just needed those 20 seconds, but it was annoying as a viewer. I did not like it.
But yeah, that happens, and then there's more yelling and stuff, and the episode ends, and then we finally get to them fighting. And this next episode, 20 or I think 14,
Yeah, I believe so.
and it was fucking awesome. The entire like hand to hand combat
hmm
between Tanjiro and Borkid is just fluid. It's the choreographed amazingly. You can definitely see how Tanjiro fights and how Borkid fights.
Yeah.
Like Tanjiro makes a mention of how Borkid's very low on the ground, like very stretchy, and you get to see that in full action, and it's fucking
hmm
awesome.
And it's one of those moments where like the compliment of the fighting style, like you said, is immediately obvious to the audience. Like it's not just that he was like, "Oh, he's a really good hand-to-hand fighter" or something. Like
Yeah,
Tanjiro said, he fights really low to the ground like a wild animal, and you could see that he was actually like really low, kind of went full like four limbs on the ground at certain points. Like it was a fighting style unlike anything that I guess anybody who's seen a fight at all before has seen before, and it was really cool to like you could understand how Tanjiro was thrown off by it because you're like, this is just not how people fight.
yeah. I think my favorite little scene, which just looked kind of weird, was when Borkid hops on him and does like the little like basically kind of just runs around Tanjiro, and it ends in like nothing. They just kind of like
Oh
jump off
yeah,
each
where he
other.
like leg locks his head and then they just helicopter together for like
Yeah.
2 seconds. That was so weird.
Well, I think what was supposed to happen is that he was supposed to because he does it again, but this time actually works. Where he's trying to leg lock his head and then like spin him around and throw him onto the ground.
Uh huh.
But Tanjiro's able to feint or not feint it, but
Slip
get
out
out
of
of
it.
it,
Yeah.
flip out of it. That's what we were supposed to see. But because it happened for so long, I just didn't know what I was watching. He's just kind of like
Yeah.
running around, spinning, just there,
It's it's
and then he just steps
a
away.
it's a move that like I'm vaguely familiar with from like MMA. Like it's exactly like you said, like you're supposed to like lock into their neck and kind of like use your body and the momentum to throw them to the ground, but it
Mm.
doesn't go on that long. And so when they kept like spinning around in circles together, all I could imagine was them turning into a helicopter and taking off. Um, but
But yeah.
easily my favorite moment from that like beginning his like whole hand-to-hand fight scene, that first punch was brutal.
Oh, the rib breaking
Yeah,
punch.
the rib breaking
Oh,
punch. Where like
yes, yeah.
the boar kid went for the, like the two hand overhand slash and Tanjiro ducks it and like comes in at the abs and you get the like the X-ray rib break.
The
Everything
Mortal
about that was
Kombat.
so it was so Mortal Kombat and I loved it.
But yeah, they fight for a good 5 minutes or
Probably.
about it.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
they fight for quite a while, and like he finally just headbutts him, and Borkit just kind of drops.
Well, boar kid first he loses his mask so we get to see
Does
what's
he?
under the mask. Yeah.
Oh, right, and he's a pretty boy.
He's a pretty boy and they talk about how he's so pretty that nobody wants to
He's got
fight
blue
him
hair.
anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Um
Tanjiro doesn't want to fight him anymore.
Tanjiro doesn't want to fight him anymore. And then he passes out
Yeah.
because he definitely has a
Also,
concussion.
when yeah, they both or only he does. When he has his Borg head on, like he gets a grovelly voice, but when he takes it off, he kind of just it normalizes out, and just
Mhm,
sounds like a normal
mhm.
person.
I mean, it may just
Which
be
I like
like the
that voice a lot
boar.
more.
Yeah, I think the boar thing is just like muffling his voice is supposed to be the aesthetic
Yeah,
because it is like a mask.
it is a mask, but like just the way they do it just kind of gets a little grating sometimes because he because this is a problem I have with um Human Pikachu, Boar Kid, and fucking that one character from Doctor Stone is that they don't talk, they just yell. They don't have a talk
Yeah, that's true.
volume.
Yeah,
That to me is a little annoying, but I don't actually hate any of them. They're actually all fun.
hmm,
It's just that sometimes I just want them to, talk.
right.
But that happens. Borkit is out cold. We basically get the ending of of like the siblings arc where the siblings get together. And just, they go home.
Yep.
The crow gives the older brother like a little Wisterium branches so that he stays safe. He stays safe because he's the Marechi and there's gonna be more demons that are after him.
Yep.
So
Got
that's how
that
that
rare
ends.
blood.
Yep, and then Crow's like, "Yo, go to this fucking house and rest up." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Rest? But we don't need rest. We've only got 7 broken bones, or yeah,
Yeah.
no,
It's
9,
two,
2,
three,
3,
four,
4,
seven,
9.
nine
We
broken
have
ribs
9
between them.
broken ribs between the three of us.
Yep.
And this is actually when the episode becomes a lot more comedic, a lot
Mhm.
more light as well.
The scene
Because
transitions were out of left field.
yeah, where we get like the 3 different bases that they make, and just
Mhm.
doing a little like it's just a transition. It's just weird.
Yeah.
They
It
make
was
noises.
it reminded me very much of like early 2000s like cartoons that we might have watched. Like if you ever watch like the old Justice League cartoons, like in between scenes you'd have like the transitions. It kind of reminded me of those.
Or the Batman animated one.
Yeah,
Not the
exactly. Yeah.
yeah from
I know
like
what you mean.
like the 60s or
Yeah.
not the 70s. I think 70s.
I think you're right.
Yeah, but the no no no.
Exactly. Where like it's just some random like spinning thing on the
Yeah,
screen. It was the same aesthetic of like the three faces like do 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 across the screen and then the scene would shift.
it happens like 6 times,
It
like
happens
2
a
for each of the
lot, yeah.
characters.
Um
But
but
yeah,
yeah, they
they
show up
finally
at the
get
house, they get all the stuff they need. They get food and a doctor and a place to sleep. Um
Doctor Human Pikachu continues to think the old lady is a monster, which I thought that was kind of funny joke.
no, yeah.
Just keep getting scared.
Um
Boar Kid is a little homoerotic sometimes.
a little.
Like the first thing he does when he gets when they get into the room is like he does the little pose, the little drawing like one of your French girls pose.
Yeah. um God, that pose. I don't understand the concept of like what exactly he's trying to do with that one because like I get that he was trying to like pick a fight.
Did
I
he do
don't.
like the eyebrow thing? Because I feel like he did that.
He kind of did like the cocky look of like I picked a bed first. Fight me about it.
Is that what it was supposed to be?
I
Because
think
I didn't know
so.
what he was trying to
I
imply
didn't
there.
really understand what he was trying to get to either, but during like the next scene, he basically says like, "Why won't this guy fight me?" And I was like, "Oh, that's what you're going for, huh? A fight, one of them bed fights."
Yeah. But the basically what this latter part works up to is the revelation of Nezuko to the other guys. Well, to human Pikachu, because Borky doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah, Borkin is full on asleep.
He sees it's a girl and he just falls asleep.
Oh yeah, Borkin's like, I don't know how to process this, so I'm not going to process it.
He's like, I don't care.
Exactly. But human Pikachu cares a lot.
I feel like a normal reaction would have been like, dude, why do you have a girl in a box?
That would be a
But then,
normal reaction, but as we've already
but human
said,
Pikachu like, bitch, you had a girl in your box the entire fucking time.
human Pikachu
We
is
can't
not
be
a
friends
normal
anymore,
person.
huh?
Human Pikachu is not a normal person.
Yes. He immediately gets super jealous that
Yeah.
he has the audacity to carry a girl around in his box.
I was waiting for him to throw out the "you fucking normie." Normies get out.
He would fucking say that.
He would. Um, I will say though, of all of that, the one thing that came out of it that was kind of cool was we got to see Human Pikachu's like actual sword, because in his one badass moment
Right.
where he did the one strikes 2 times, we never actually got to see the blade. I really like the pattern on it. It's really cool.
Yeah, the lightning. It was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Because it's like a darker back and then like a white blade with lightning going down the middle. It looks really fucking sick.
Which that makes me want to have like waves on Tanjiro's.
Right?
But yeah, it's just
That's what
black.
makes me think that he's not gonna stay with the water style forever. He's gonna transition to something else,
Like fire.
like fire or something, or he's gonna combine like water and fire to make steam.
Steam.
Style.
Yeah.
He's actually gonna turn into Magica. It's actually just gonna be 5-Rock.
Go, Five Rock. Well, no, Five Rock wasn't the best thing though.
Yeah, it was steam lightning laser.
No, I feel like we found another better. We found like a better one.
Steam lightning laser was the first really powerful one we found because it made them wet, and then the lightning did bonus damage.
That's right. And
We found another one. I don't remember anymore.
There's conflagration. There was conflagration. Which was
yeah,
annoying.
Conflagration was the kill your 2 friends spell. We got meteor shower at some point, which was the basically int and hope that all 3 of you don't die.
I think Steam 4 Rock was better because the rock like just flew.
I think you're right.
It's either that or there was also 4 Steam 1 Rock, which was just like a little pebble going at light speed.
Oh yeah. It was definitely, now that you say it, there was definitely a rock-based thing that we found, which was disgusting. And I think you're right. It was something to do with steam and rock. And I want to say there was another power in it, and I don't remember what it is anymore.
May have been laser. That's
it may
what
have
like
been
made
fire,
it go faster.
actually.
Fire?
It may have
Possibly.
been. Yeah, it may have been steam fire rock, because it flew across the screen and then exploded, if I remember correctly.
Ah, okay.
But Magica tangent aside, yeah, Pikachu has a freak out, and we may be having some blood spilled next episode, or Tanjiro will start out the episode by explaining, yeah, this is my sister, dude. And hopefully Human Pikachu's not going to be weird about that.
He's going to be weird about it, 100%.
He's going to be weird about it.
Hot take.
Hot take.
He's going to be a fucking weirdo.
Let's calm down Stephen A. Smith with these hot takes.
And that was Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Or for sure shonen.
Yes. Also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. In honor of the fact that we're doing more or less a shonen tournament arc, I feel like at the end of every episode we should give, or at the end of every ABC episode, we should give them all rankings for where they stand, so we can have an overall shonen tournament winner at the end of this.
Oh, it's gonna be hard because, like, man, it's gonna be hard for me because I don't hate any of these shows, and I haven't. No, I think I know what I can rate it on for so far right now. But yes, I agree with that. We'll see how that goes.
Maybe we'll award points, like it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 gets 3, 2, 1, 0 points, something like that. We'll figure it out.
Possibly. But this next show was Dr. Stone. I'm going in chronological order.
Okay. I'm writing these down as we do them so I don't forget.
Yeah. So this is Dr. Stone, which despite the fact that we thought it was a shonen, hasn't really shown itself to be one.
It's
Mostly
got
because
the beginnings of shonen tropes, though.
yes, there are the tropes there. And that opening, like, just if that didn't scream shonen, I don't know what would.
Yeah.
Uh, but like it's there for the most part. Like this episode itself really reminded me of Full Metal Alchemist because it was just two characters like fucking around with like the science of their world.
Okay, yeah. I see
So
what you
so
mean.
far, like it's supposed to be real science, which it was for the most part
Mhm.
correct, save
Yeah.
for a couple things in the beginning,
Yeah. There was the whole I
which
can
it
distill
wasn't
gas from
incorrect. It's just
uh
not possible.
it's I don't even know if I would say that it's not possible. It's just so difficult to do, it's not worth it, basically.
All
Because
right,
like
okay.
the quick and dirty on the logic of it is
Well,
plastic
it is
bottle caps are
yeah.
made from
Oil, right?
polyethylene, I
Oh,
believe,
okay.
which
It
is
almost
basically
says
just a long
synth.
chain of ethanes. Because any polymer is listed as a two carbon thing. So things on carbon one, things on carbon two.
Okay.
Polyethane or polyethylene is just an ethane. So CH2, CH2 bonded
Okay.
together. And
Right, and
so
we extract those from fossil fuels.
yeah, exactly. Um, and so in gasoline, which is a byproduct of
Ethanol?
a very different
No,
uh
not ethanol.
no, it's not ethanol or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
We just cut it with ethanol.
yeah, well it's a combination of a whole bunch of shit. So like so octane rating is actually made from something called isooctane because it's not a straight chain hydrocarbon, it's actually a branched chain hydrocarbon. And then there's also a whole bunch of other shit inside of it, and I couldn't even tell you everything in it, and I know some of it isn't even hydrocarbons. So I'm not super certain of the whole composition of gasoline, but I know that it's enough that you couldn't just synthesize actual gasoline from bottle caps. You could synthesize something flammable, but it wouldn't be gasoline because hydrocarbons, and they're all flammable basically. But other than that, every like the rest of the science, all more or less was correct.
It was more or less correct because like they didn't really get into it. It was most like we mix shit and stuff happens, and
Right.
that's almost always correct. If you don't like somehow completely fuck it up, you're gonna be mostly right.
Uh, I think the most like technical thing they did was the winemaking thing,
Yeah,
where they were
because
like, we
they're
step
actually
on the
distilling it.
wine, we stir it, it eventually turns into wine, and
Yeah,
it's they were vague enough that you're mostly correct. And I mean, they also kind of point out at the end, like, it tastes like shit, which it absolutely would. They didn't do any of, like, the heating and cooling and adding sugar and stuff that, like, actual winemaking does.
correct. Because they don't have
So,
the equipment.
exactly, they don't have the equipment. But, like, everything, like, conceptually, you could make wine that way, but yeah, it would taste like fucking garbage. And it would be
Uh,
weak as fuck, too, because, yeah, now they're doing distillation, which I actually appreciate, because it is how you, concentrate alcohol, is basically what they're
yeah,
doing.
gotta make that moonshine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was really thinking when they were doing it. I was like, "Oh, we're moonshiners now."
Yep. Oh, they don't have wheat, so they can't really do that.
Right. They're
Or
not actually
moonshine?
making proper
Grain.
shine.
Yeah. But real quick, the quick and dirty of this show is that at some point, in modern times, there's this light that turns every person into stone.
Hmm.
Everyone on the world into stone.
Oh, that was the other
Uh,
thing that annoyed me in terms of science, because they don't get into the light, so we don't know everything about the light. But we see that it
yeah.
only affects humans. It didn't
Well,
affect. It affected the
yeah,
birds beforehand, but
but we don't know why
we
because
don't
we
know
also have a
why.
dog and he wasn't affected,
Exactly.
and that
That's what I
pissed
was
me
gonna
off.
say. That pissed me off because I'm like, but animal cells aren't different than other animal cells. Like
Well,
dog
no.
cells
So
and human cells are the same cells.
no. I think you're getting too much into it. Like this light could have just been something that just affects humans. I'm okay with that. If you show like some human beforehand getting affected, not a fucking bird.
Yeah.
That's what
That
really threw me off.
that's what messed like I don't understand the rules of the light yet is basically the problem.
Yes,
Because like if it's
that's also
affecting
my main issue.
humans, it should conceptually have affected everything.
The
And
way I see it is
also,
either affects only humans or affects all animals, like
right.
including humans, because we're animals.
But the other thing was like it had affected the birds previously, but nobody was like, yeah, there was this weird green light, and then all of these weird bird statues showed
Yeah.
up. Like nobody had that problem.
Oh, that
So
one girl did.
yeah, that one girl,
That one girl who's really important to. I don't know if he's the main character, but he's one of the main characters, which is basically yelling Ape Man because
right.
he's the voice of Ape Man.
I was gonna ask, who do you
He
think the
is.
main character is in this show?
I would say it's the white-haired kid because he's on the cover. He's like the poster. I'm gonna say it's him.
But when it comes down to like the actual fighting, do you think he's gonna get in there with his fists?
Bro, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna like synthesize like a acid in a little like glass bottle. He's gonna fucking chuck it at people.
I when you started getting into that, I was afraid you were gonna go with like he's gonna make himself a mech suit. And I'd be like,
No,
please no.
that or like pocket sand.
Pocket sand, I'd be okay with that.
They just have like some long explanation about how sand irritates your eyes. You just walk
Jesus,
away.
that would
You
be
see, the sharpness of the sand cuts up your whatever eyeball
corneas.
corneas. Well, not even the cornea, like the filaments above your eye, because that's not your cornea. That's like the protective layer,
Oh,
which is what they cut during a during LASIK.
yeah.
Yeah, it cuts that up, and then the sand starts cutting your corneas
Ah, okay.
or some other bullshit like that. But we've yet to see that.
Yeah.
He might find some flint and create like a stone spear or something
Okay.
and smack some motherfuckers around.
But yeah, we have so our character list so far is 3 people deep. Because we have
Yeah,
2
basically
human beings and then
a statue.
yeah, statue love interest, I should say.
What a way to treat your female character like right away.
Yeah.
You are a statue. Why? We can like because they know how to like open the statue. I don't think they're gonna open hers yet.
No.
Like the main character, not the main character, but fucking spiky haired kid.
Yelly
Like,
ape.
yeah, yelly ape man. There you go, ape man.
Yeah.
Hey, he's gonna be like, no, I have to like promise her something first or some bullshit like that. We'll do her last.
Oh
Like they're
my
gonna do her
God.
last specifically because he requested it.
Oh, I hate it already.
But also, those fucking headphones, I want that brand because they last forever. They're still on her head and they're still not broken, I don't
Still not
think.
broken. Despite
I mean,
the world opening up and fucking the plagues just devouring everything.
it is plastic though. Like plastic lasts a long time.
That's true.
Well, we think it's plastic. I actually, honestly, I
no
thought it was
idea
like
what it is.
stone for a little bit.
I thought it
'Cause it
was
has,
just
like,
a
the
headband
texture.
at first. Or like
Is it? Well, it
earmuffs
could
or
be a
something.
headband, but like it wasn't over her ears.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, it's just a fast accessory? I was very confused as to what it was.
What is it?
I don't know.
It looks like you got some shells and just put them on your fucking head.
But if you're right, because you mentioned that
Yes.
it's gonna come up as some bullshit, we need a circuit board thing. If you're right about that, I am going to riot.
Me too. I don't want to be right.
Oh, I will be so like just I guess salty is the best word for it. I'm gonna be
Dave constructs a megaphone from a beaver, some rope, and a megaphone.
Oh my God, I will hate it.
Shout out to Dave the Barbarian from fucking 2002 on Disney Channel.
One of them classic shout outs.
Yeah.
But our 2 main characters in white-haired Dr. Stone and Yelly 8-Man, they don't accomplish a whole lot, and at the same time make real far strides in terms of our overall problem. Like,
What do you mean they don't
realistically, they
accomplish a
just
lot?
suffer because they just kind of, for the amount of time that we saw go on, all that we
Yes.
really see them accomplish is we learned how to make alcohol.
Yeah.
And like their living situation in no way gets better. They don't try and make anything on the
A better
side.
hut.
Yeah, they don't try and make a better hut. They don't try
Well,
and
they
make
make the
like
little. They make the little experimenting room.
yeah, they
Like
make a
the little
lab.
workbench.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the lab.
But they don't really like try and make huge improvements or like have
Oh,
multiple
okay.
projects going on at the same time. Like they basically tunnel visioned on we got to get other people de-stoned, and that was all they went for.
But see, that's the RTS strategy. You need more workers, Nick.
Well, then they
But
should have
you
been
need-
constructing pylons,
You
Brandon.
need more fucking drones.
Creep spread.
But-
Creep
yeah.
spread.
One thing I found kind of not dumb or annoying, but kind of funny is Yelly 8-Man is like super like awed by what white haired kid's able to accomplish,
Mhm.
and just cut to the shitty little shack on a fucking tree. And I'm just like, I was hoping like it'd be a house or some shit. not like
I mean, to be fair, if
total
one
force.
dude after
It
the
is one dude, yes.
apocalypse, if you found like one guy that you knew after the apocalypse, he was like, "Look at all that I have built by myself," you'd be like, "Damn, dude, you did a lot of work by yourself." I'd be mad
Primitive
impressed.
technology, the channel has shown me that a house only takes about less than a week to build.
A house like that?
Not
Fuck
sorry,
no,
not a
they would
house, but
not.
a shack. A nice shack.
I don't believe you.
I will show you this video. I think it
Because
took at
I
least
think
he got
you're
enough.
also neglecting the fact that he first has to make the equipment to cut down trees to get the wood. He also has to
Oh,
build all of the other materials he needs, like
it depends
nails
on like
and shit.
it depends on what type of wood you want to use. If you want 2x4s, then yeah, that's a little too far. I would say like using branches and stuff first.
He had like 2x4 kind of things, as I recall. Like he had like a
Jesus.
wood ladder,
Oh,
like going up to his treehouse. That was like more or less, yeah, planks of wood.
huh. I wonder how I made those.
I have no idea.
You just
Blind. He's
punched the
6
tree.
months and nothing else to do.
You just punched the tree.
Exactly. Minecraft did it.
So how far do you think we're gonna get? Like in our like eras, how far do you think we'll get? Because right now we're like Stone Age technology right now.
I'm hoping he's gonna build a trebuchet, the pinnacle of technology.
If this becomes just Age of Empires, I'd be so happy.
I'd be okay with that. Realistically, I would be shocked if we
Because
got
like he wants
into
to go
like
to the moon.
he does. I would be shocked if we got into vehicles.
Okay.
So above like bicycles, they might create bicycles, maybe, or like chariots or something like super rudimentary vehicle. But like if
Hmm.
he created like a legitimate, like car-esque thing or anything like that, like self-powered vehicle,
Like
I would be shooked. I would be shook.
a Flintstones car.
Yeah, if he creates the Flintstones car, that would be incredible. But anything better than that would be, I would be surprised.
Well, so
And if he creates
here's the
anything
thing.
that flies, I would be astounded. That would be
They can
way
make a
too much.
glider.
But they don't
Which
need they
like
don't need a glider is the thing.
they don't need a glider, but like why not make one?
Because what are they gonna do with it?
Glide? I don't know.
Where? They're gonna
Shut up,
glide out
Nick.
of trees into broken limbs. Um,
Yeah, so I think either the show will go in that direction where it's focused on a lot on like building and like essentially civ building,
mhm.
or some shonen actual stuff where they're fighting for and stuff.
I imagine
So
it's
who
gonna be
knows?
like the combination of the sci-fi and the shonen into like we're gonna have arcs. Like
Hmm.
so you brought it up, so now my mind is almost exclusively on Naruto at the moment. So
Yes.
like we had the Zabuza arc. Imagine that, but in the middle of it, Naruto had to like science build something in order to beat Zabuza.
So we actually saw the bridge being built during the Zabuza arc, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. Like, and not just that, but like they had to go into like there was some architecture problem where they were like, we need to find a way so we can build a strut right here at the deepest part of the lake, and they had to like science some shit to build the strut there, and that was like a 2 episode thing, or like a one full episode. They were devoted to like we got to be able
Hmm.
to build this strut right here. Like that's gonna be the arcs in Doctor Stone. Is there gonna be
I
there's
hope
gonna be a
so.
science problem
And then
built
like a fighting
into the
problem.
shonen arc problem
Okay.
exactly.
I'll see how that goes. That might be fun.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm expecting from what I've seen so
Okay.
far.
Looks like that's what you're hoping for.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay.
Because it has some of the other like classic shonen tropes. Because we mentioned the love interest, who is a statue.
Was not the love interest of the main character, mind you.
Not the love interest, the white-haired guy. He loves science.
Yes.
He also loves saying 10 billion%.
Oh my god. Okay, that's something else that kind of annoyed me was it's a good way to like characterize him as a sciencey character, but it's just so overdone that I got kind of I just groaned
It's
the moment he started talking.
I know I simultaneously I didn't like it, and at the same time I knew why they were doing it because like having the catchphrase of like it's in because my brain's solely on Naruto.
It's inconceivable. Oh wait, sorry. That's Princess
That's
Bride.
Princess Bride. But Naruto has the believe it that he constantly says. So like this is his catchphrase basically.
Well, he says believe it because in the Japanese he has like a tick. He just says like that or whatever. I think that's why they had to believe it in English because like there were just extra mouth flaps they didn't need, so they're like, "Fuck it, just make him say the stupid shit over again."
All right, interesting.
Um, yeah, but he does have his now. Doctor Stone has his own little catchphrase. It's 10 billion% correct. Also, that's illogical. I'm so logical. Yeah.
Mm. Drink this. It'll raise your pheromones. You'll be accepted 10 billion%.
Honestly, I was just hoping it was water. Just like make it water.
I was when he first was like, "This is gonna raise your pheromones." I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be one of those shows, isn't it?" That was mostly where in my story of Doctor Stone, the Science of Doctor Stone, a story of two gifts that I posted on Discord.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
where I was really like, that was my first moment of fuck everything about this. Because when he was like, "It's gonna raise your pheromones," I was like, "Nope, nope, we are so far done at this point." So the fact that it turned out to be gasoline, I was actually kind of happy with. I was like, oh, look, they're not actually going to pull this bullshit about, science. It can do whatever you want with no repercussions ever.
I was kind of hoping that he was gonna tell the yelling ape man to pour it on her, and it's actually just water.
Oh my god, that would have been
He comes back and like,
awesome.
"What'd you do? It didn't work." Yeah, because it's fucking water, you idiot. That's also another thing is that yelling ape man like cannot grasp like the simplest things sometimes, and that kind of gets a little annoying. And that trope is done like everywhere, like
Yeah.
and also in like American media as well, where you have like this jockey character and like this nerdy character trying to explain something which isn't very sciencey. Like, if you mix these two chemicals together that are called blank and blank, it'll make this. Just go ahead and do it. And the jock's like, huh, I don't know what that fucking means. Mixing shit? Fuck you, kid.
How do I combine these two things as he's like pouring them on the ground and
Yeah,
drinking one?
and fucking when like Doctor Stone's telling Ape Man to or telling him how like the Nightel works, and Ape Man's like, oh, just don't tell me about it. I'm not gonna understand. Like, bitch, he's just mixing two things together.
Yep. Um, our boy 8-Man also fucking did a solid wall press up against the stone statue of his girlfriend.
All right.
What a fucking G. He was like, because the best thing about it is the show very clearly states they can't see anything. Like they have no perception, basically, in the stone statues.
Yeah, there's darkness.
And still, he does the solid like wall press. I'll save you, baby. I don't understand what he's trying to accomplish, but I kind of appreciate it.
I don't know either, man. Oh, well.
I was sad that he shaved the beard, though. I was digging on the beard.
That beard was glorious.
It was pretty fucking solid. He was rocking
That
it.
beard belonged in Vinland Saga.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
He was rocking the
Oh,
full face beard. I was sad that he immediately shaved it off.
yeah, we'll get into that later. Well, fucking clams too. That's gotta hurt.
Oh yeah, with the clams too. It reminded me of the 3 clam thing from fuck, what was that movie?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man, yeah. He doesn't know how the 3 clams
Doesn't
works.
work. Ha 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 ha.
But yeah, fucking shaved his face with
Yep.
biting clams.
But that's our first impressions of Doctor Stone.
Yeah.
I expect fun things from it.
Yeah,
I
expected
did like the
things.
first episode. As much as I griped about that one character, it's gonna seem like a fun show.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be stupid and weird at times, but it's gonna be just entertaining.
Nick might blow a gasket depending on how far they go into dumb science territory.
Oh
But,
yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see where they go. So far, it's been good.
Yep.
I did
Up
appreciate though
next,
one of the few things in
yeah.
science and things that happened though. I will mention this too. The fact that their first attempt at the distillation thing with the unglazed pottery and how it
Oh,
immediately
it just
blew up,
broke.
I appreciated that too. Don't
Yeah,
try
because
and heat up unglazed pottery like that. It'll go
yeah,
real bad.
it'll explode.
It'll explode. Um, but yeah, it looks mostly okay at the moment. We'll see how like if they try and get really far into the science, I may have a conniption fit at some point. We'll find out.
Who knows? They need to just be vague enough to like make
Yeah,
it sound okay.
just skirt around the edges of a scientific explanation, and I'll be okay with it. Or do like with the light thing, where you can basically just hand wave it as like it's shonen bullshit, and I'll have to be like, I guess so. Like I can't really fight shonen bullshit when it comes to that light.
Well, up next is Fire Force.
Fire Force, and damn, was the start of this episode hype, or the start of the show hype.
Man, this animation was fucking awesome.
Everything about it was awesome, but that like the fact that it started off with like shit's on fire and we're gonna have
Yeah,
fucking a showdown immediately to show you what this is about. They got straight into it, and I appreciated it.
They did a good job at like hooking you in.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that hook was really good. But Fire Force is a story wherein in this world people are under the not oppression, but they're fearful that they'll combust simultaneously. It's simultaneous combustion, which
Spontaneous.
turns spontaneous. Yeah, you're right. Spontaneous combustion.
Simultaneous combustion.
That could happen. I don't know. When
Everybody in a
people
room
come
at the
fire.
same time. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, spontaneous combustion
There probably will be simultaneous combustion later
at
in
some
the
point.
show.
It's gonna be twins.
Exactly. It will be. Fuck, you're so right.
They combust because of reasons we don't really know why yet. But they turn into these fire demons, and we have the Fire Force tasked to take them down, essentially to exorcise the demons in a way. Because from what we've seen so far, they're a quasi-religious group. They're not even quasi. I'm pretty sure
they're overtly religious.
They're a religious group.
Yeah, because even the firefighters did like the last part of the prayer.
Yeah. And in this world, they also have pyrokinetics who are able to use fire, who are able to control fire and fight these fire demons in the place of normal firefighters.
Yeah.
With suits and stuff and yada yada. Our main character, he wants to be a hero and he wants to join the Fire Force, so he's got fire feet.
Yes.
And there we go. That is the synopsis of the entire show.
Kind of.
In this episode,
you forgot one critical thing. So part of the pyrokinetics thing, at least as far as I could tell from this first episode, was that what generation of pyrokinetic you are kind of influences
how strong you are.
Yeah, like how strong you are and how your powers manifest. So like the 2 second generation pyrokinetics both seem to have like fire manipulation powers, whereas our main character, who is 3rd generation, has fire producing powers.
So I guess what you're implying is that maybe the further generation you go, like the closer you can be to a fire demon without losing control.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And specifically the fact that our protagonist can produce flames has caused him some classic shonen dark backstory problems in his life, which we'll get into when we talk about.
Not real, kind of.
Because
it wasn't actually his fault.
Yeah.
In any other shonen show, it would have been his fault.
Oh, it absolutely would have been his fault in any other show.
What he's seen so far is that Fire Devil shows up, and everyone thinks that it was his fault that he caused the fire, because he probably knew that he was one of the little fire demon kids. But we've seen that there's like some antagonist, this devil person that caused the fire and killed his mother.
A fire demon with horns.
Yep.
That killed his mother and almost certainly did not kill his brother.
Oh my god. Oh, you're so right. Because you haven't seen the brother yet.
Literally a 0% chance that brother is dead. I am willing to bet whatever the main fire demon force is, the brother is going to be one of the officers in it.
Maybe.
I'm willing to put money on
I don't think an officer. I think an antagonist.
Yeah. Well, I'm imagining they have like a collective like force. Like, think like the Demon King in most isekais, how they have like the Demon King and then their generals. Like, I'm thinking like he's going to be one of like the higher ups, like an important person in the antagonist group, basically.
Okay, not in the Fire Force. So the Fire Force right now.
Yeah, no,
like,
not the Fire Force. Yeah,
okay.
An important person in the antagonist group. So like they'll be the overall head of the antagonists, and he's going to be like one of the generals, basically, of the fire demons.
You're right, because we don't know if he's a younger brother or an older brother. We just know he was a brother.
Yeah, well, no, I think we see him. I think he was a couple years younger. Because we see we see the main character when they were doing the whole "I want to be a hero" with his mom when he was like getting the cape. We see the younger brother as like a toddler, basically.
If that's the case, I don't think he's gonna be an antagonist then, because usually it's older brothers are the antagonists. Younger brothers aren't. Younger siblings usually die.
There is no way that kid is dead.
I don't think he's dead, but I don't think he's an antagonist.
They did not find any bodies. I don't want to say the mom is alive because moms almost always die.
Moms always die.
And
like she was smiling. Yeah.
Did she have the dead mom haircut?
She did not have the dead mom haircut, but she had the hot mom hair. Or she just had the hot mom style.
She just had a hot mom, yeah.
Yeah.
But that brother is absolutely alive.
Okay. I'm willing to believe you, but I don't think he's an antagonist. I've not convinced yet.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know how he will show up. The only way I could basically picture him showing up is as an antagonist, but the author could surprise me and he could show up some other way. I'd be willing to accept that, but I'm convinced he's alive for sure.
Okay. Another part, which is a very shonen tropey, is that there's something else. There's another extra on top of this that gives him like issues as he's growing up, and that's his face. In
Oh
this
yeah, the
particular
smile.
case, he has this nervous tick where he kind of like smiles whenever he feels like anxious, which, to be fair, is kind of like a very relatable thing because like that does happen to some people. Like they just kind of make a face thing with
Yeah.
their faces. Sometimes it looks like they're smiling or maybe not, or they're grimacing or whatever.
hmm
But that's that makes sense. I actually didn't really hate that part.
No.
Um,
Yeah. It kind of ties into like how people thought he was the one who burned down his house
yeah,
because
because he's fucking smiling like a
yeah, he has the fire
sociopath.
powers. He's also smiling like a sociopath at the same time. And so people are like, "How could you be laughing at us or enjoying this right now? Like your
But
family's
see,
dead."
if you look at his eyes, that kid was like dead inside. He was crying. They're just
Yeah,
a bunch of assholes.
yeah, but people are weird and mean.
People are asshats. Uh, but we get the first fight where they're fighting one of the fire demons that was on like the railways. We get the fire force minus our main character fighting. Our main character only springs into action when the priestess is about to get basically dunked on by like some part of the railing.
Yeah.
So he saves her with his powers, and they find out that he's like the new recruit.
Yep.
And they all get together, and we get to meet the gang, where we have priestess girl, who I guess may or may not be like the main love interest for the character. I don't know.
Maybe we'll find out.
We've got other girl who's infinitely better.
Oh yeah. Other girl who is pyrokinetic wears the witch's hat.
Where's a
Which,
fucking
oh my
witch hat,
god,
dude?
I love that hat.
Yes.
That hat is awesome. Also, in one of my favorite scenes, has a brain full of flowery goop. There was such a good way of showing it too. It was such a good way of depicting like what type of character she is.
Mm-hmm. She's a very happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
From what I've seen so far.
And the scene specifically I'm referencing is
The shower
sister,
scene, right?
yeah, the shower scene
Yeah.
where you see like the insert of her brain and a hummingbird comes by and sticks its nose in there to like drink up the flowery goop because, as the sister is saying, her head is full of like basically rom-com sugary, saccharine goodness.
Yeah. The sister has a couple of funny moments.
Mhm.
Once the next scene comes up in a moment, but we also meet the captain and the captain's assistant, I guess,
Lieutenant,
who
yeah.
like, oh god, what a fucking dickhole.
Okay,
Go
who's
ahead.
more likely to die, captain or lieutenant?
Captain.
Absolutely, 100%.
Captain's gonna die. Like
Captain
he smiled.
is gonna die.
He smiled. He likes the main character. He's dying.
He's dying.
He doesn't have powers.
Does he make it to the midpoint, or will he make it past episode 12? I should say.
I think so.
Or 12 or 13, whatever the midpoint is, basically, of this season. You think he's going to make it past the episode 12-13 barrier?
I don't know, because he's gonna die at some point. I don't know how early though.
Right. I'm thinking he's got to go early.
Early? Okay.
Well, actually, I don't know, because you got to give the rookie time to train. He might make it to 25.
Okay.
If he doesn't die at like 12, he's making it to 25, but there's no way he makes it beyond 25.
Okay. So that's your hot take.
That's my hot take.
Actually, sorry, we're in Fire Force now. That's your flaming take.
Exactly.
is Captain's gonna die.
Yep.
Also, Captain's the swole motherfucker, and I don't want him to die.
He is shredded.
He belongs in how many? I keep wanting to call it. How much can you lift? But they didn't go with that fucking title.
How heavy are the dumbbells you can lift?
Yeah, god damn it, bro. How much can you lift?
Bro, how swole are you? How much could you bench?
He's a swole bro, and then we've got Lieutenant, who just has a stick up his ass the entire fucking time.
I think
Refuses
Lieutenant
to
is like also secretly shredded though. Dude had arms.
He can be shredded, but he can also have a stick up his ass.
Oh yeah,
and
he absolutely
not just chill the fuck out.
Yeah. Also, the captain, who is the absolute man, because of our main cast, we have the sister who hasn't really like contributed to the fighting yet. She does the praying. And
I don't think she's going to. I don't think she's going to.
I don't
That's
really think
her
she is. Unless something
place.
changes, it seems like her job is like the religious aspect of like the cleansing the soul thing.
The Exorcist, yeah.
Yeah. The other two, the lieutenant and the other girl, and our main character are all pyrokinetics. The captain, the swole motherfucker that he is, no powers. Fights that shit with like a fucking hole punch
tomahawk.
and a tomahawk.
Yep.
What a fucking G.
Just runs in, puts his little mask down, and just punches the flaming motherfucker in the face.
He punched him. He punched him, and it released like a fucking stake into his chest. That was awesome.
And you know what the guy with the fire powers does? He uses a fucking gun.
Yeah, he used the gun. He had a
It's not
fucking
even like a gun that uses his fire powers. It's just a gun.
yeah. Well, no, he had the well. It also didn't use his fire powers, but his other gun was the fucking foam launcher, where it shot the foam grenade.
Oh, but see, that's actually kind of useful though.
It was kind of useful. The other gun he used was just straight up an Uzi, I think.
Yep. And then we got the girl, the fire, the fire magician, fire witch, because we didn't get any fire witch in fucking
Bringing it back from
Pop.
Boogie Pop.
So we might as well call her the fire witch here.
Okay.
Fire witch, yeah, she's a firebender.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There is to it. And she's got big boobies, kind of.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
she's got boobies. There we go. And then we've got like a little not a tease, but kind of a joke where she's bent over and asking like, "Is the length good?"
Yeah.
But yeah, the mid part of this episode, is meeting the characters and kind of seeing how they work off each other comedic wise, and also like the drama that's going to come up, mostly through the lieutenant just being kind of a giant piece of shit for a little bit,
right?
Which no doubt is going to end at some point where like he finally realizes that the main character is not such a bad guy. He's trying his hardest and blah blah blah. And then we get their first mission as an entire unit is to go to, I believe it was like some manufacturing plant and exercise like the manufacturing like plant's wife, because she has turned into the fire demon.
Yep.
And we get some really nice fucking scenes where there's just like red streaks and fucking fire everywhere. The character animation where they're moving around and fighting is super kinetic and like very fast. It's fucking great.
Also, the fire like just looks good. Like the fire,
awesome, yeah.
The fire that the fire demon and that our main character produced looked good. The fire in the background looked pretty nice. Like everything about the flames just looks like fire you expect, and so it just contributes to it so nicely.
They also do a very good job with the setting, at least in this like ladder fight, where they're inside a very kind of dark room. So like it just gives that fire like that much more oomph to it, because the contrasting between the yellows, the reds, and the oranges from the fire background to the kind of dark black, dark brown background was really great.
Yeah.
But they're starting to fight. They're having some issues. Fucking kid gets knocked out for a little bit, where he has a flashback to his mom and the time that she died. And we're getting that flashback, which we've already talked about. And he comes back to his friends are all like, they're like, "Hey, remember this blue fucking this blue light, kid? It'll always be near you."
Yeah.
"Are you knocked out? Are you good?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me go fight it." And then he just fucking uses little fire powers and just punches him in his face.
They give him the "it's a thin blue line" talk.
Yeah. Even though it's not really that thin, because it's kind of a thick blue line, really.
Well, yes. Also, the thin blue line is a reference to Cops, not an actual thing they said in the show. I was making a Cops joke, and the fact that they were wearing a blue line.
But I'm pretty sure they did say that the exact line.
Did they actually? I didn't catch it.
They do talk about the blue line.
They definitely talk about the blue line. If they call it a thin blue line, I would be amazed.
Okay. But the final the final move that main character uses is like this kind of double kick sort of thing, like this roundhouse kick, where he like uses his fire to propel himself around, and then just the moment he like makes contact with a demon, he just makes more fire, and his fire is stronger than her fire, and then it kills her.
Pretty much, yeah. He basically just uses his fire to rocket kick this girl in the chest so that she dies. Yep.
And
but it looked nice, and that was the most important part.
It looked awesome.
But then they go outside, and everybody cheering. Claps and cheers, and he's like, he doesn't say anything, but everybody, the captain comes up to him, and he's like, "You're a hero now."
Yep. You can stop saying your fucking line.
Yeah. So hopefully there will be no more flashbacks to him as a child going, "I want to be a hero." There's something about the way they enunciate hero, too, that always throws me off.
Oh, because they put a lot of emphasis on the E.
Yeah. they put like overly much emphasis on the E. Like it carries too long, I think, or something. I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah,
say. It's hard to put into words.
it just sounds a little off. But we to bring it all back with his smile. This time around, we actually see him smile for real this time, where it's a much smaller. His mouth's a little smaller, and it's kind of a not more muted, but it's softer.
Yeah.
Whereas his normal smile like has his like teeth, which are all like serrated, and like that sharp smile. This is much softer. And this is where the episode ends, which is a good way to end an episode. Given like the theme of his smile, kind of prevalent throughout the show so far.
Yeah, I agree.
But I like to get into one more thing real quick, and that is that the ending for the show is by far my favorite from the rest.
The ending to
Fire
Fire
Force.
Force?
Yeah, the ending song and like visuals that go with it.
Is you like it more than any of the other endings, or any of the endings
Yeah.
or openings?
Endings.
Okay.
I try to like usually just match endings with endings and openings with openings.
Okay, that's fair.
Song wise, I think it's one of my favorite songs, ending or opening wise.
Okay.
Demon Slayer's opening, I think right now is my favorite of all the four shows.
Okay.
And then once again the ending for Fire Force is my favorite, and then second comes the ending for Demon Slayer.
I'll have to rewatch the Fire Force endings. I don't remember it.
I like the song, but that mileage may vary there. But the visuals are fantastic. They look great.
Okay.
That's
Are
one
you
thing
sure
that
they weren't? I don't remember, but did they have an opening? Because it may just be the opening in disguise.
They had the opening. They had an opening.
They had an opening. Okay.
People really liked it. I didn't. It didn't really click with me.
All right. I don't remember it, which means I probably didn't particularly care about it. Because usually I watch the openings at least once.
If I like it, I'll usually keep watching it. If not, then I just skip them.
Yeah, I mean, usually I give everyone like one watch to decide like, do I like it? How do I feel about it? Stuff like that, and then after that, I skip them as I choose. But I'll usually the first episode I'll watch the opening, or the second episode if they don't have the opening in the first episode.
But yeah, that was Fire Force. So far it's a show. It is the shonen. It's got all the favorite tropes.
Yep.
We're probably gonna end up getting like the fire demons at some point, or the general fire demons at some point.
Yeah,
where you get like the numbered creatures that we have to fight, or the numbered opponents we have to fight, much like Demon Slayer.
We probably are. It's the funny thing.
Apparently we're also gonna get a lot more fan service.
I'm okay with this.
But like from what I've heard the manga just say, it like kind of gets too overboard. Where sometimes fan service is just used, in like an extra scene, like a throwaway scene. Like this, they say it kind of starts getting in the way.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's where I get kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
But I've yet to seen it, so we'll see. Because I guess there was like one like little fan service scene in this episode where we see Fire Witch kind of bent over in front of the main character, and then you see the main character's point of view, with the cleavage there. But
I mean, I guess you would also say the shower scene.
The shower scene too. Yeah, that too. Both of them are like fairly tame.
Yeah.
But have you seen the character design for the other girl, fucking QB girl?
No.
It's a little ridiculous.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Which other? Like, is it a girl that we haven't met yet?
It's a girl we haven't met yet.
Okay.
If you watch the opening, you can see her.
Oh, okay.
I can also send you this fan art that I saw a couple days ago as well.
All right, I'll take a look at it later.
Yep, but that was Fire Force.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah. Hopefully it stays that way.
Hopefully it stays that way.
Yes, I guess we'll talk about some other stuff next week, but yep. And on to our epic.
Good way to put it.
That's the only way to put it. It's really an epic. It's the beginning of an epic.
Yeah.
Is Vinland Saga.
Right. Which we picked as the final part of the shonen tournament arc. It is not a shonen.
No.
It is an epic or historical drama or
historical
something.
Fiction for
historical
sure.
Fiction, yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's a historical fiction because these characters, at least Thorfinn exists, and Leif Erikson.
Well, that's the thing. It could still be fiction. Like,
Yeah,
um,
the story is fictional probably, but it's
mhm.
based on like historical figures.
But like, I don't know how much it's based on historical figures. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I'm
I would
just
say it's
assuming
historical
based
drama.
on the only like guiding force right now is the fact that it's called Vinland Saga,
Yeah, which is
which is
I'm
clearly
super
their
hyped
term
about.
for America.
Oh my god, I can't wait. When they like actually mentioned the fact that they actually went to America and the fact it's called Vinland Saga, I got so hyped. It's gonna be them traveling to America. It's gonna be so fucking cool.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if you know the story of Thorfinn, the historical story of Thorfinn, but he also came to America after Leif Erikson and tried
Mhm.
to establish like a permanent, colony over
And
here,
the natives like ran him out.
basically.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's didn't happen to Leaf Action too.
I don't remember why Leif Erikson left. I forget. He may not have planned to come here. He may have just been exploring this way and been like, "Hey, look, there's land here," and then went home.
Hey, look, there's people there. Hey, give me your pipe and headdress. Like,
Yeah.
sure, fuck it, dude, here you go.
Which, if this was America, as I was watching that scene, I was like, "There's no way if this was America, this would be okay." Like having a scene where it's just like, "Yeah, we rolled up on these natives and they gave us this pipe and this headdress, and I just took them home and now I wear them around." This, like, in America, people would be like, "Cultural appropriation."
Well, no, I would say I would argue against that though, because like part of the story is that the natives did give them to him. Like they gave it to him as like gifts and trading and stuff. So he just
Right.
wears it because like he got it from these dudes who are really cool to him.
Um, but it's also the story of Superman. I mean, Thor's.
Yeah, Thor's.
Uh,
Goddamn, what a fucking unit.
Jesus. Also, the leaping ability on this lad.
He like can jump over a fucking building in a single leap, Nick.
Yeah, dude is straight up like 1950s Superman. Like the very first scene is, I'm assuming, like one of the old wars that
Yes, I
Thor's
believe it.
fought when he was Norwegian. I kind of don't have
Um,
an idea of where they're from. I'll be honest.
he's from like a kind of like a city state called Yams,
Yeah. Well, they all
and
have like made up almost real place names, so I don't know where he's actually like geographically from.
well, Norway's a real place.
Yeah. And they live on
Iceland,
Greenland? Iceland? Okay.
Iceland.
Yeah.
They went to Greenland.
They
Well,
went to Greenland.
Leaf goes to Greenland, and he's like, "Yeah, this place fucking blows," and he
Yeah,
just
that's
left.
right. Because Greenland sucks, but it's the bigger one. Iceland is way better, and the smaller one.
Hmm.
True story. Also, go visit Iceland. Don't go to Greenland. Um. But whatchamacallit? Yeah. So Thor's was originally, I believe, Norwegian, but he may
Yes,
have been from Finland. I kind of don't remember. Uh. But he fought in the very first scene. We see like a giant battle with like ship to ship combat, except for it actually is just Thor's like jumping
just
20
jumping
feet
around.
from ship to ship and just murdering dudes. And then at the end of it, he gets thrown into the ocean, stabs a dude in the ocean, and then just swims to shore and is like, "I'm gonna leave now. Peace.
I'm tired now.
I'm gonna go home
Oh.
now." Yeah, he's basically
But
Forrest Gump.
yep, he just gets the fuck out because at this point, he mentions much later on that he's just tired of fighting. He doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
And a big part of that was because he had a child. He recently had a child, has a child, and his wife as well. And that,
Yes.
that sparks him to go over to Iceland and live there. Where he lives within this a smaller commune of like other Norwegian Yams people. I'm not sure where they're all from,
Hmm.
and they just kind of try and make do with what they have. Iceland, not the best place, better
No,
than Greenland.
better than Greenland.
But they've got their cattle, their sheep.
The sheep,
I think farmland when it's not
yeah, covered in
winter.
winter snow. Also, they one of the like historical realities that I appreciated was that the fact that it's covered in like multiple feet of snow meant they had to bring their sheep into their house because that was the only place to keep them. I
Yeah.
appreciated that. It was very historically accurate because that's also how farmers in the Middle Ages had to do it.
Hmm. A
Uh,
lot of these things are pretty historically accurate.
yeah.
Like
Uh,
I don't think there's going to be any sort of like magical powers that happen.
I'd be
Like
surprised.
it's 3 episodes. I think it's going to it's aside from people having like somewhat superhuman feats, much like Thor's and his jumping ability and just being a fucking giant.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think most people are going to have like any sort of magical powers. I think it's just going to be them, through just being strong.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we whipped out like this is a witch or whatever the Nordic state's equivalent of a witch is.
There's a Jormungand that's actually real.
Jormungandr, yeah. Uh, oh, also, things that sort of bugged me in that I have a very limited, but, I know some things about Slavic culture. This is set in roughly the year, like,
It's exactly
1,000 to...
10,002.
It is exactly 10,000?
Sorry, it's exactly 1002.
1,002, okay.
Yep.
Uh, the Nordic states didn't become Christian until, like, the 1100s. So when Leif Erikson throws out the I'm gonna celebrate Jesus Christ's birthday as his reason to go buy wine, I was like, he would not be Christian.
I think he was making a joke.
He may have been making a joke. That is very valid. You might be right about that.
Because
I
for
didn't
sure
think
he's
of
met
that.
Christians.
Yeah, they definitely have met Christians, but like we saw at the bad guy camp where they were like, killing the Christian missionary, the
Mhm.
Nordic states would not have been a huge fan of what they were selling for at least another 100 to 200 years.
Yeah. I think he was making a joke because I feel like at some point he does pray to like oh yes, because he talks about Odin giving them a good day for sailing.
Oh yeah, okay. You're right. You're probably correct. It was probably a joke then.
Because I mean, what would you want to do? Just drink wine, right?
I'm gonna get
Any reason to drink wine.
I'm gonna get blasted. Why? Jesus Christ's birthday? Does that sound like a good reason to drink? Yes,
Yeah.
no? Okay. Yes, you're saying yes. Let's drink then.
Quick thing. Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Why?
Okay, good. I don't see my thingies going up and down, so I don't know if it's recording correctly.
Oh, your levels are not increasing and decreasing?
Yeah, but I didn't change anything, so
Well, fuck me.
yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Well, actually, I'm annoyed because I forgot to change the profile, so I'm still on my game profile, which means this file is about to be like 13 gigs.
Fucking massive.
Yep.
That's okay. Just send it over to the
yeah, I'll
SD
put it
bucket.
into Audacity and turn it into just a pure MP4.
So where are we at? Sorry about that.
Distraction aside, and back into ABC, Vinland Saga, and reason to get blasted with Leif Erikson.
Right, just fucking drink some wine any day of the month.
Exactly. But in terms of the plot, the first episode was kind of weird because we find a slave. We have the flashback. We learn some stuff about the Iceland thing. We're clearing some snow off the house. We find a slave, and that was like the first real event of it. Was we find the slave, we nurse him back to health, and then nurse him back to speaking, kind of.
Yeah.
And we learned that he was not real thrilled to be a slave.
As most people are.
Yeah. And then fucking the chain gang shows up. And it was weird at this point.
Why would you think it was weird?
Because, one, dude uses a chain as a weapon.
Yes. I would say that was weird.
That was a little bit weird. But then Thor's goes with the unbelievable decision of, I'm gonna give you 8 sheep for this dead dude. Didn't understand the concept there.
There was no concept. The show itself knows that this is a weird decision on the part of Thor's, but Thor's doing this to kind of instill that sort of every man should be free thing to his family.
I get that, but it's
regardless
8
of
sheep,
price.
dude. 8 sheep. And not just regular sheep. 8 young sheep.
Oh, so this is the part where Nick also tells everyone he's white and thinks slavery is okay.
Shout out to the beginning of ABC, in which I put my own foot in my mouth and insisted that slavery would be straight lit.
Anyways, that's what he's doing. He's trying to like show his family that every man should be free. There's also the part where they're trying to deify Vinland. And that's probably where, even more so, where Thorfinn kind of gets his drive to go to want to explore Vinland at some point, aka America. Because the final things he tells the slave is that he'd be going to Vinland as his final voyage, and he'd be happy there. And then he dies.
Yeah.
And then the older sister, is very mad that her dad. She apparently didn't get the message. She was much like Nick, where she's pissed off that 8 sheep just got sold for a dead dude.
And I mean, I'm feeling her.
Yeah,
Like, I get the
I
whole,
mean,
like, we don't want to have people in chains. Slavery is bad thing. I'm with it.
let it also be no, not him. It's a girl.
Yeah.
That
Or
the
with
older
her.
sister also wanted a slave. She wanted a slave.
She wanted to buy a slave to clear off the roof of the house. So like I'm with her. Or no, I'm sorry. I am with Thor's. Okay, stop. Time out. Let me get my things straight. You fucked me up because you said it was a girl. I was saying I'm with Thor's.
Yeah, okay.
Slavery is bad. People shouldn't be in chains. I get the message here. But we're talking 8 sheep, dude. Do you know how much that is in ye olde Iceland money?
Yeah, at least 3 slaves.
Exactly. If not 4, because dude bought the guy originally for 2 sheep. You could buy so many slaves and set them all free if that was your thing, but instead you spent 8 sheep on a dead dude,
Well, it
and then he
depends how bulky they
died.
are. Yep, well, he's dead.
So I'm just saying, in like the, overall balance of the universe, the one dead dude versus the potential 4 other slaves you could have freed, just buy 4 regular slaves and be like, y'all free now. Like, if you really want to throw away 8 sheep, just go free 4 healthy young slaves rather than one dying old dude.
He wasn't that old, I don't think.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was hard to estimate because he was also on the edge of actual death.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
That was the first episode. Second episode, we are introduced to another antagonist who shows up. Who is, I guess, Squarehead Man. I like to call him.
Yeah, sure. I guess that works.
And he's one of the elite Vikings. He shows up to Thor's land and says, "Hey, Thor's, you are requested by the King of Norway to come fight with us because you used to be a Viking. You also, ran away, and we will clear away your debts if you fight with us. If you don't, we're going to kill everyone in the village."
Yep.
That's basically his decision. So Thor's, of course, he kind of has to go fight.
Pretty much.
So he accepts unwillingly because at this point he does not want to fight at all, like at all.
No. He's pretty much a pacifist at this point, I think. Because even his son, when his son, goes into the house and he's like, I gotta find the sword. Because once, I guess we should explain first. Once the whole story or the tale comes out of Iceland is going to war, everybody else in the village is like, awesome, war's gonna be so cool, I'm gonna get to die and go to Valhalla, which is real weird that they kind of do have an understanding of you're not gonna make it, probably. But everybody's pretty hyped for war, including Thorfinn, who is really feeling this thing. And so in like the mock battles that the kids were having, where we first see Thorfinn got knocked out super early in it, the second round of the mock battle that we see, Thorfinn is kicking ass to the point of actually cheating and hitting some kids after he gets killed.
Also, apparently, knocking people over who's almost twice his age.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, but dude was real high feat to go to war.
Yep.
Dude was like, I want to stab some people with the sword, want to kill the enemy. At this point, I was starting to get really like, commentary on society vibes, as when Thorfinn goes home and he throws his wooden sword on the ground. He's like, I don't want it anymore. Those are for children. And he goes into the storeroom and finds his dad's old, Viking gear, and he finds the knife, and he's like, and he's looking at it with that look of, this could be me. I could wield this. And his dad shows up and grabs the blade, and he's like, what are you doing? And Thorfinn's response is, I want to become a warrior and fight the enemy. And
who's the enemy?
Who's the enemy? The enemy is the enemy. And Thor kind of explains to his son, like, there is no enemy. Everybody is human. We shouldn't fight each other. Commentary on society.
He's like, this basically 100% shows that he is a pacifist. And if he has to fight, we'll see in the next episode that he won't kill them.
Yeah.
He'll only casually knock them down.
Casually backhand them into unconsciousness.
And so we also find out that only a couple of the village's men are going to go fight, which are the 5 healthiest men, all of the teenagers. Not teenagers, early 20s. I don't know how old they are, but they're the ones that are going to go. And then we also get a little tease as to what's going to happen soon with Blockhead Dude meeting a very skeevy-looking guy, and he basically tells him that he'll pay him if he kills Thor.
Thor's.
and that's where the episode ends, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
It is with that sort of back and forth between them, like boom.
that was
Uh,
episode
that
2. Yeah.
that's episode 2 to get us hooked in to watch episode 3, which at this point I was already. So I just queued up episode 3 right away and started watching that one.
But
And
that
this
pretty much
episode,
picks up right away with the travel in the boats at first, with Thor's and the rest of the dudes, right?
no, I think it starts off with the back and forth between blockhead dude and skeevy looking guy.
Oh, right. Well, they talk some more about like
Well, it's
I'm gonna
important
pay
what
you.
they talk
I'm gonna
about.
pay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna pay you money to go kill Thor's, and yeah. Basically, it was just more about the I'm gonna pay you money. Is to assassinate a dude is really what.
And
they
also
talk about.
to show kind of that there's a conflict between the Vikings in the middle of itself, in the Viking structure as well, where skeevy guy, like, he'll accept the money, but he's also trying to figure out what the angle of blockhead dude is,
I didn't really
because he
like.
doesn't particularly trust him.
Yeah, but like the fact that they seem like two wildly different groups is kind of like what I was picking up because like you said earlier, Blockhead and the rest of the Vikings or the White Cloak Vikings, like the elite Viking troop.
Yeah,
They're like the
this is
shock
just like
troops, and these other guys are like they all look like criminals, and they're fucking fat and rolling around on wine on the ground when they knock the barrel over. Like they look like fucking goon lord, fucking
goon lords, exactly.
yeah, they look like fucking lords. So I wasn't expecting, like, I didn't really picture them as like, this is one collective unit, and these are both like the same groups of guys. Like, they were both two very different types of people, and so like I wasn't surprised that the one like they didn't trust each other fully, and the one dude was like, "I'm gonna do this thing, but what's your angle?" And Blockhead was kind of trying to like talk around it and not say what he was really shooting for.
Yeah.
It's like you get the sense that they may be allies, but they're not friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that skeevy dude would do straight up anything for money.
Yeah, and this also leads into the part where Blockhead dude like thinks he has the upper hand, but fucking badass Viking man, which I guess is everyone, but I guess Tanner Viking man just picks up a spear, chucks it at like this like sigil cloth thing, and says, "Whoops, it fucking slipped," and that kind of that rattles Blockhead dude, so he just like accepts the deal, which is he'll that like. He doesn't have the upper hand as he thinks he does, so he just leaves and says, "Okay, you do your shit, and I'll give you 5 gold now, and then 5 other gold once Thor is dead." And then we find out that behind this cloth was one of the elite Vikings. And it's been a pretty fun reveal where the guy's just like has like a spear stuck in his fucking chest and is dead.
Yeah.
So right away, like these guys are like some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Which kind of. I don't think they're antagonists just yet. And if they are, they'll be.
I mean, the one dude's straight up about to commit an assassination, so.
But here's the thing: in the opening, Thorfinn is traveling with them.
That is true.
I think what's gonna happen is like they're gonna adopt Thorfinn after killing his dad, and Thorfinn's gonna be like, "I fucking hate all of you, but I have nowhere else to go. So I guess I'll just stay here."
Right. That could be how it plays out. After they kill all the adults, they're like, "We're not so bad. We're gonna kill a kid," so they just take him with.
Yeah, and like they train him.
Way.
And at some point, like Thorfinn's gonna like fight the other blonde-haired guy like for leadership. I think that's what it's gonna like play into.
All right, I can see it.
Because like I also see hints and notes that blonde-haired guy doesn't really want to kill Thor's, not because it's a bad thing to do, but because like he doesn't think that like Thor's should be killed just yet, because he thinks he's gonna get in big trouble if he kills Thor's. So there might be something else that he's trying to do. So I don't know just yet. But we know that that one dude, he likes to eat mushrooms. Mushroom guy, I'll call him. Likes to eat mushrooms. I think that just puts him into rage mode or some shit.
Maybe. Rage
but we have
mushrooms. All right, I believe it.
But after that, we do have all 5 of the healthy guys, gearing up, ready to go to war. Ari, one of the black-haired guy with the ponytail, wants to, confess to Yilda that, he loves her, that he wants to marry her when he comes back. And Yilda's just not really having none of it. She's tired. She just wants to go to sleep. And we also find out that all the other 5 guys also really like Yilda. Because apparently she's also the only woman, or the only, like, unmarried woman there too. Actually, no,
Maybe.
there's that other girl too. Who
There's
like,
two.
yep, there's only two.
There's just the two of them, and one of them is Thor's daughter, and the other one is some random village
Girl.
girl.
Yeah, so just a village girl.
So obviously, the best decision is to go for fucking jacked ass Thor's daughter, because that's not going to end badly for any of them.
Well, even no, it would, because like Thor's isn't like a very, he's not a helicopter dad. Because like he even finds that like Ari likes him, and Thor's is like, oh, my daughter likes strong men. You should get stronger too. Like he's very what's the right word? He's okay. He doesn't really care.
It's true, he doesn't, but that could change.
It's very true. My daughter doesn't like dead men.
That would be a very like Thor's way of intimidating somebody, I feel like.
Yes. But what happens is they all get ready, and they finally ship off, and much of like that middle half is them sailing, and figuring out how to sail. Thor talks to Arya about it's not stepping into the water because it'll eat you basically. Thorfinn shows up there because he stowed in a little barrel. He pees and says, "Hey, look, it's the fucking ocean."
Yeah.
And that kind of happens. It's a comedic-ish middle part, which kind of rose into a more dire and dramatic third part, where they get stuck in a valley, in a ravine, coming up to this small village where Leif Erikson wants to do some trading before they ship off to Norway. And this is where they find that something's off. There's not as many houses as there were last time that he was there, and that's when the goon squad locks them into the little ravine with a bunch of debris from the houses, and that's where the fight starts. Thor gives his son the knife and tells him, only use this for self-defense. Ari and all of other guys basically all collectively shitting bricks because they're fucking scared.
Mm-hmm.
And Thor jumps over to the other boat and just starts smacking some motherfuckers. And that's where the episode ends. Yes.
Yeah. He backhands like 4 or 5 dudes, and then the episode ends there. As the skeevy-looking dude, watching from, I think, a different boat.
Yeah, there's 2 boats.
Like, this is getting interesting. Which almost certainly guarantees he's going to do some, stabbing Thors in the back later.
Yeah. But yeah, the only way I could call this show is just an epic, because it's very much starting out like just similar to the Odyssey. There's like this big war about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
People are shipping off. Well, technically, the Odyssey it happens after the war.
Yeah, you're talking about the Iliad.
Iliad and Odyssey. Yeah, the Iliad comes first, right?
Yep. The Iliad is when Greece is moving over to Troja, or
Troy.
Not
Troja.
Troja. Yeah. Moving over to Troy, and the whole story of Achilles, and how Achilles dies, and the sack of Troy, and all of that.
And the Myrmidons. Yeah.
And it ends with Troy on fire, and the Trojans leaving Troy.
And then that's when you get 2 books: the Aeneid and then the Odyssey.
Yes. Following different groups. You get the Odyssey following one group of the Greeks as they try and get home on the longest boat trip of all time. And then you get the Aeneid following the Trojans on the Greek equivalent of the March of Tears, or the Trail of Tears.
Wherein one Trojan just goes to Carthage, just has sex with someone and just leaves her.
Yeah, basically.
What a fucking dick.
He doesn't just have sex with her once. He has sex with her for like a year, and then he's like, "I'm gonna go now.
Bye.
Have fun."
I think she's a kid too.
Yeah, they almost certainly have a kid together.
Yeah. God, who was it for? Aeneas, that's his name.
Yeah, Aeneas.
God, I'm a fucking idiot. Aeneid, Aeneid, Odyssey, Aeneid, Aeneas, Odysseus, Odyssey.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, real quick, the Aeneid is written in Latin, Odyssey Greek.
Yes. Odyssey also has a weird ending, if I remember correctly. Because Odysseus shows up at home, like, as there's, like, a whole bunch of dudes, like, macking on his wife, or trying to mack on his wife, and he, like, rolls up at home.
So what they're trying to, what she says is that, like, if you're able to string this bow, then you can marry me. And, like, no one's able to do it for, like, the longest amount of time. And then Odysseus shows up and he's like, yo, where my bitch at? And his son comes up, he's like, yo, they're all trying to fuck your bitch, dude. So then his son gives him a sword and they'll just kill all the suitors.
Yeah, that's what it was. I remember
And
that somehow it ends up with him killing dudes because they were trying to bang his wife.
yeah, he kills a bunch of them. And then like he says, and then there's like some dumb rule about like he has to like actually like do the string the bow, and then like shoot the arrow through the little hole.
Uh huh.
So he just does it to show up,
Yeah.
to show everyone up. He's like, there you go. She's actually my wife now. Fuck all of you. Get out of my house.
It's definitely not a metaphor of trying to shoot an arrow into a hole.
Yeah.
um.
But this is like after I think like 20
Oh
years.
yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, the Odyssey takes place over a long time.
Also, in terms of the Odyssey, I think like less than a fourth of the way through the book, and in terms of the time, it was like probably 2 to 3 years into the journey home. They almost get home, and then one of the dudes on the boat, for no fucking reason, like they're in sight of the shore, the dude opens up the bag of wind and blows them halfway across the world. Fuck that guy. Fuck everything about that guy. They
Yeah.
literally could see home, and he's like, I'm gonna make this slightly faster by using this bag of wind, and fucks them
It points in the
over.
wrong direction.
Yep. What a fucking dickhead.
And then he spends a lot of time in Calypso's Island, if I remember right.
Yeah, he gets trapped for a while. There's a
Well,
whole
not even
bunch
a
of
while.
the
I think he,
Odyssey that is Odysseus either willingly or on accident having sex with ladies for a long time.
yeah, I think he actually likes Calypso. Doesn't actually like. I don't think she rapes him. I think
No.
that's the witch. The witch
The
does
witch
that.
does. The witch that turns
Yeah.
all the crew members into pigs? Yeah, she
Yes.
rapes Odysseus pretty much. In less
Um.
explicit terms, yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, I think he's on Calypso's Island for like 5 years.
He's on Calypso's Island for a long time,
Yeah.
willingly. The witch he's there for a while too. I think he's at the witch for at least a year, if not a couple.
Yeah. I think it's the meeting of Calypso is like part of the hero's journey. Is what one of the little phases is called. Where it's a dip right before the climax, where our character is like has like a time of healing.
Okay.
I think it's also called the meeting of the mother.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got a lot of weird names. But anyways,
Holy shit, he spends
uh,
7 to 8 years with Calypso.
yeah, he spends a long ass time because I think if I remember right, at Calypso's Island he has no sense of time. Like he
Yeah.
does not know how much time is going by.
So the rough timeline of the Odyssey is over the course of 1 to 2 years, we have the Lotus Eaters, the Cyclops, when he gets almost home and then blown away, goes to Aeolus, meets the Lastragones, meets Circe, meets the Tiresias, meets the Sirens, goes to Scylla and Charybdis, or goes by Scylla and Charybdis, goes to Helios, and then spends 7 to 8 years with Calypso, and then in the course of like 6 months, the Council of the God, Odysseus leaves Calypso,
Again?
meets the well, he spends 7 to 8 years with Calypso, and then there's the Council of the Gods where they're like, this dude who is supposed to be on this super awesome journey is not leaving this island. Dude's on mad thought patrol right now, and so they basically force him off the island.
Oh, what a bunch of dickweeds.
I know, right? The gods fucking sucked. And if I remember correctly, they basically sent him a symbol that was, or a message that was like, all these dudes are trying to bang your wife, and he was like, I can't let this happen as I'm, stepping out on my wife. So he runs home to fix that. But then along the way, we also have the Phaeacians, King Alcinius, and then getting home, and then
Okay.
the homecoming.
Yeah, so that's about 10 years.
Yeah, it was a long fucking time.
And then I think Calypso is also one of is Atlas's daughter as well.
That
I believe so.
would not surprise me.
They're all connected some way.
They're all connected some way.
Yeah, but that was a quick tangent on the Odyssey slash
The
part of
Iliad
the Aeneid.
and the Aeneid.
Yeah, Aeneid. I keep saying whatever.
But Vinland Saga continues a now year-long tradition in ABC of picking very serious, like, how do I want to call it? Like long-form drama shows.
Oh, like Banana Fish?
Yeah, because we had Banana Fish, which was 2 core, and then we immediately followed that up with Dororo, which was 2 core. And now
yes,
we're
you're right.
doing Vinland Saga, so it's been a contiguous year of long-form drama shows.
I would say they're also all adventure. Banana Fish, while it only actually, I would say Banana Fish for sure is adventure. Because
Yeah,
for the
kinda
first half
agree.
they are traveling a lot.
Uh-huh.
Even though the latter half usually takes place mostly in New York, we see a lot of like different parts of New York.
Yeah, they kind of go all over New York.
Hmm. And then with Doro, that's an adventure. They literally have an adventure.
Literally have an adventure all over
And this
Japan.
one, also keeping up with like the way like it's basically a classical epic.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying epic because it's epic. Like it fits. That's why we talked about Odyssey is because it is like a classical epic where they're not going to travel around and just do a bunch of stuff
exactly. Yeah,
all over the place. Um. So yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, it seems pretty good.
Mhm.
Um, but that brings us to the end of I think the shows that we intended to talk about. Uh, I
Yes.
also watched. If you want to have anything to say about the Dumbbell Show, because we mentioned it at the beginning, and since
It's
we kind of did
so
with Kaguya, we can have like a quick
yeah.
5 minute thing on it.
It's so wonderfully stupid. I love it.
It's really good. It's really
Yeah.
colorful, is what I really like about it.
It's expressive.
It is, yeah.
Like she just the main girl just has a lot of like you can just see the emotions of her face and it's really well done. I liked it.
I did too.
It's also just a funny show. It's it tickles me.
I like that they kept the like super erotic descriptions of
Oh
all
my
of the
god.
workouts, and at the same time they had the character in universe like questioning why it was super fan servicey. It was
That's
a
very true.
funny combination.
Once again, that gets to the whole thing. Just because you're like pointing out that you're doing a thing doesn't make it okay. In this case, I'm not okay with it.
The super fan servicey fitness explanations.
Yeah, because
I'm
like
all about it.
They also did that in like the fucking the sister show. I think I forgot what it was called.
The
That one show we started
sister.
watching, but it sucked, and we just dropped
Oh
immediately.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Where
about.
like they do all the tropey shit and then say like, "Oh, we're doing this,"
Yeah,
but that doesn't make it funny or better. It just makes me pissed off.
yeah.
In this particular case, because like they did it well already, it doesn't make me annoyed.
You're talking about the one with the real bad normie barrier.
No, I'm talking about the one with like the awful animation
Oh, okay.
and where the people were like just not wanting to be on the project and wanting to
Yeah,
leave.
now I know. Yeah, there were two kind of close together with the really bad normie barrier show and then the really bad animation show.
Yeah.
Um, which I still feel bad for those guys. But
They
anyways,
worked to the bone for some sort of like fucking garbage.
for no reason, I feel like that show was not popular enough to justify fucking over the animators that badly, and at the same time, you couldn't justify paying for new animate or for better animators. It was in a weird place, man.
Yeah.
Um, but the Dumbbell show, it just looks good.
Yeah, it
And I
does
think it's
look
just
bad.
because it's like the beginning episodes, like chronologically, they're all kind of close together because like they're getting into the swing of being at the gym in the first couple episodes.
Mhm.
But like the fact that they all are kind of like linked together, I like it more than just having comedy bit type animes be adapted as like a bit, another bit. Like Kaguya when it started off was just like here's 4 bits in a row, whereas this is actually like it's. I think it only had 3, maybe it had 4, and I don't remember.
Well, well, I usually because the manga usually went in a way that it was one workout was a bit.
Yeah. Well, the
It
first
just
one
had two.
was the introduction of the gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it had three. It had three bits that were like just raveled in together correctly. Or the segue was better than Kaguya-sama.
Yeah.
Where those are like hard cuts, basically. These would just kind of float into each other better.
Yeah. But I think that'll change. I think it will be a little bit more like Kaguya as it goes on, where like once they get into the swing of being at the gym, it'll just be like, they go to school and show up at the gym.
Yeah.
And that's all the transition we'll get in between sequences, I'm assuming.
Okay.
But I like it. I like the cast of characters too.
Oh right.
There's a very wide cast of characters for this show with all like different personalities that I really like.
And there's also a little twist halfway through the show, which I can't wait for. Don't spoil it.
Okay. You also remind me when we cut specifically what you're talking about.
Oh man, you forgot about it? Okay. Well,
I mean, I just don't know what exactly you're referencing. There's a couple like moments.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay.
Oh, but yeah, that was how many doubles can you lift, and that was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
In a similar vein, I also heard this other comedy called I'm gonna butcher this. I'm just gonna say it's English. Koshi no Muranzaki.
Sure.
I think it's called.
Something about high school girls.
Yeah, the wasteful days of high school girls.
There you go.
That's the English translation. um, Murazukai, which is basically three cliques of three girls who are all like representative of different tropes in anime,
Okay.
just working off each other in different skits and bits and stuff.
Okay.
So like our main trio is like a super hypey girl, followed by like a kind of a nerdy straight man,
Mm-hmm.
and like the very robotic science girl.
Okay.
And it's just making fun of each other for like 12 minutes. Uh, and then we were just following Hypey Girl, just trying to find nicknames for everyone,
Uh-huh.
and just failing. And people, trying to find nicknames for everyone. And she basically creates all these nicknames for um, all while she's trying to like get them to introduce her to their guy friends because she wants a boyfriend really badly. Like that's her one goal.
Nice.
By the way, this is the high school she applied to, all girl school. She's
Perfect.
not the smartest person. She's not the smartest person.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yep. And at some point, she realized that she doesn't have her own nickname because she couldn't. So she decides to have her friends think of some for her. So they come up with some really mean shit like background character,
Ooh.
annoying, and like fucking. I forgot what the other one was, but it was basically akin to trash boat.
Solid.
So she's going around, and everyone just keeps calling her these mean names, like multiple times, and she keeps saying, "No, that's not my nickname. Let's find another one."
At least she doesn't just accept it because they gave her a nickname.
Yeah. In the end, her nickname becomes stupid.
Solid.
Yep. But anyways, like we have okay, like we have I think we have your favorite character, Nick. We have a Chuni,
Solid.
blonde-haired Chuni, who she's gonna pair
Nice.
up. She's gonna pair up with I'm not sure what one of the girls are, but the other one is a like occultist, like wears like a really big sweater girl. So like they fit in perfect together.
All right.
The other trio is like this short girl who who people call Lolly now. We have a Gyaru, or however the fuck you say it, and then I'm pretty sure a lesbian girl.
Solid.
That's the other trio,
Nice.
and it's just very fun. I watched it yesterday and it just tickled me.
All right.
Yeah, I was amused.
Sounds pretty good.
It also has a very good ending and opening, in my opinion. Very catchy.
All right then.
Yeah, so I'd say give it a shot. It's funny.
Recommendation from Brandon. I don't have
Yes.
any recommendations to put forward yet for the new
Mhm.
season.
Also, the teacher, an absolute goon. Nick,
Okay, solid.
100%.
So 100%. Interesting.
100%. I will send you the a quick, basically like just a recap of what his character is in just a little bit. Yeah, a fantastic show in my opinion.
Okay.
And so we go to the last segment of our show. Segment. What would you like to sell out to today, Nick?
Well, we kind of were talking about earlier, and you mentioned you wanted to fillet some manga that you've been reading recently.
Oh no, I just filleted the show I was talking about.
Oh, that was what. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I now see it. I'll be filleting this later today, and it's the JK show.
Yep.
Well, that sort of throws a wrench in it because I thought we were both going to be, blowing manga. So.
Oh fuck it, we can blow some mangas. I'll blow to a manga.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna blow one of my new favorite manga in Yakumo-san wa Edzuki ga Shitai, which basically translates to Yakumo wants to feed someone. Because it's a story about not older, because she's in her late 20s, early 30s, if I remember correctly.
Please, that's old enough.
That's old enough. She's definitely Christmas cake. Well, actually, she's a widow. But her next door neighbor it is unfortunate. But her next door neighbor is this high school baseball player.
Oh.
And so he is living alone because he, got recruited to this school. And so she basically cooks dinner for him every day and they eat dinner and just kind of have like a nice, fluffy time together. And it's sort of romantic. And at the same time, like she sort of has more like mom vibes about it. And so, like,
that's so weird.
I mean, it's not weird. It's not like weird in like a, like I'm gonna, it's not like
make you my son.
Yeah, it's just like, she's taking care of like a younger guy, and she kind of just sees herself as like, I have to make sure that he eats healthy and is, doing well in baseball and stuff like that. Because his mom is, halfway across Japan and can't do this stuff for him. So he's like, I'm going to look out for you, basically. It's just nice. It's fluffy and
Mhm.
nice, I think. And so I really enjoy it. The character interactions are good. The cooking looks fucking phenomenal. Uh, so there is some, you know, dishes that she cooks that I will probably try at some point because they look really nice. And it's a good read. Overall, it is wonderfully fluffy and I enjoy it. So I would recommend it. If you like
Okay.
cooking and if you like semi-romance, mostly just light and fluffy shows
And
about
also MILFs.
also MILFs, because she's a straight hottie with a body, and she's not married anymore.
Jesus Christ. I guess I'll sell out to a manga. Manga I was reading, which I thought was going to be a romantic comedy. I forgot to read the tags, and apparently it's not. Instead, it's a sports show. It's a sports manga about baseball.
Yes.
But the title is Yugami Doesn't Have Any Friends.
Wow, that does
And
not sound like a sports manga.
it doesn't, but it's basically about like this protege pitcher
Mm-hmm.
who like
I believe the word you're looking for is
doesn't have any
prodigy, by the
friends.
way.
Huh? What?
Prodigy.
About it?
Protege means you're learning under somebody. Prodigy means you're really good at something.
Whatever, Nick. Words.
Okay.
They mean the same thing. They're close enough together.
Okay.
So this prodigy pitcher, yeah, he has a very austere personality.
Okay.
Where like he just does him, and like he doesn't care how pissed off he'll get that he just does him basically.
Solid.
So along comes the main character is this girl who starts at his school, and she unexpectedly and not kind of unwittingly starts to become friends with him, which basically also means that no one else becomes friends with her because she is with
She became
uh,
friends with the resident dickhead, and so
basically, so everyone kind of avoids her for a little bit.
Yep.
Until the show the manga starts kind of going and people start seeing that she's not kind of a piece of shit.
Okay.
But Yagami isn't a dick. He's just kind of rudish sometimes. The only way I can describe it is like he just really does him. He's a much happier ape man, basically.
Okay.
He doesn't really have any friends, but that doesn't really bother him.
Uh-huh.
And whenever like the manga builds up to him wanting a friend, it always ends up with him just not caring. Like he legitimately just doesn't care. He will just do whatever he wants.
Okay.
But where it comes to with baseball is that at some point he actually ends up becoming the captain of his baseball team, kind of to the dismay of some of his little kohais. But he actually he legitimately tries to be a better captain, and this is kind of like him kind of changing his ways a little bit.
All right.
That part's interesting, but we mostly see him through the eyes of the character. There is a fun little arc where he finds out that a girl likes him, and the basically the story of this arc is that he's trying to convince this girl that she doesn't actually like him, just the ideal version of what she thinks is him. And basically ends with her saying, "Yeah, I guess I don't like you." He's like, "Yeah, I was right," and he just leaves.
Okay. So what you're saying is you just feel a kinship with this character.
No,
You feel real connected with him.
no, fuck off, fuck you. That's the end of the show.
You left yourself way too open for that one.
But anyways, yeah, there's no real romance, but it's a pretty great fucking read. It's very funny, very simplistic art style. All the characters aren't really hateable.
Okay.
They're all very fun.
All right. I don't know where Brandon's gonna cut this, but I'll do an outro anyways. So thank you for joining us for the beginning of season 3.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. This is a longer episode, but fuck it. We talked about a lot.
Yeah.
We need to catch up kind of too with Demon Slayer and
There was
Vinland
a lot
Saga
of
being
episodes to
3
go
fucking
through.
episodes.
Yeah. Jesus.
But that was that.
That was the beginning of season 3, and the continuation of season 2. Because whatever, we'll see if
Yeah.
Brandon decides to make a new background.
I want to. Also, this may or may not end up on podcasting apps. Probably not. I'm sure it's to do that next season.
Next season. One thing, one season.